What's up everybody, Optic Foxes here, and I wanted to do a anime review. So, I've been wanting to do a review on this anime for a very long time, and I had told my friends back home in Pensacola, Florida that I would do a review, and I have yet to do that. So it's been a while that I've seen this anime, and I just wanted to tell you guys about it because I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was a amazing anime. So the anime that I'm talking about is called A Silent Voice, and I had heard about it through a random pop-up that just happened to appear on my Facebook profile. And I went online, checked out what the anime was about, and I instantly bought it on Amazon, watched the movie, and I loved it. Loved it. I found it to be so relatable. Now, I have since bought the manga, A Silent Voice, and I got this when it was on sale on Amazon. I think it was one of those Amazon Prime days. I have yet to read the manga though, so I don't know if there's, added things or things that were deleted from the movie, but I will eventually be reading this and I will tell you guys maybe a separate review on it. So, if you have yet to ever hear about this anime, let me tell you about it and let me tell you why I find it so relatable. So, if you don't want, me to give it away too much about what the story is, you might want to pause this video and watch it yourself. But I'm just going to give a little bit of a, summary here of what this anime is basically talking about and why I enjoyed it so much. So, A Silent Voice, it is about this young girl. Her name is Soko, I think I pronounced that right. And she has a disability of deafness. And she transfers into an elementary school. And at first, everybody's kind to her. They're very nice, they're very accepting. She asks her classmates to respond to her via a notebook. And as somebody that lives with a disability myself, with me living with autism, I found that, to be kind of relatable. I was definitely, when I was in school, very, very quiet. If you came up to me, I would talk to you, but if you were expecting me to come up, it was never going to happen. But anyway, this is what happens in the story. So, like I said, at first everybody's accepting with her, everybody's kind. Then eventually the kids start teasing on her. And for some reason she seems to have this little crush on this boy. I think his name is Soya. I think I pronounced that right. And Soya basically wants nothing to do with her. And he tries to play it tough. He does not want his friends seeing that he is friends with a deaf girl. And like I said, teases her. Which of course gets, his friends on his side, and they kind of back him up. But eventually what Soya ends up doing is basically teasing Soko to the point where he actually takes her hearing aids out of her ears and causes her to bleed. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he chucks them out the window. So eventually what ends up happening is Soku's mom calls up the school and says, hey, these kids are bullying my daughter, and she has been missing a lot of her hearing aids lately, and they're extremely expensive. Can you find out what's going on? So, of course, the principal comes in, his teachers come in, and, they're asking, what is going on, who's been picking on Soko. And this is when Soya's classmates turn against him. So they start saying that he's the one that's picking on her. Even though they were actually picking on her as well, they basically turn him in, and he ends up getting in trouble. Now the anime kind of moves forward to a different time period, and it goes to now where Soya is in high school, and he's become kind of like a quiet, standoffish type of guy. Doesn't talk to anybody, just stays to himself. And he eventually um, crosses paths with Shoko, and for whatever reason tries to befriend her. And it almost becomes apparent that he's trying to make up for all the mistakes that he made when they were younger, and he even gets to the point where he tries to communicate with her in sign language. And at first you can kind of see Soko's a little bit, you know, what's the word I'm trying to think of here, you guys? Resilient, I guess. I don't know. I might have said that the wrong word. You know, hesitant. That's what I'm trying to say. Hesitant. Sorry, hesitant. She's a little bit hesitant of trusting him, and rightfully so. You know, he picked on her, but eventually they become friends. And again, like you see, like I said, she has a little bit of that crush on him, and it ends up causing problems though later down the road because Soya comes into contact with some of his other friends from elementary school, and now that they see that he is friends with Soko, they start wondering what's going on and kind of start teasing him again. And I don't want to give too much away. It I'm not gonna kill you. It definitely is gonna give you some feels. There's a lot of like sadness. There's a lot of anger that you might have, but I really, really, like I said, found it extremely relatable because some of the exact same things happened to me when I was in school. I befriended a lot of different people that wasn't necessarily always popular, and a lot of times I would try to be friends with people that had disabilities, and I was often always made fun of because of it. And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why nobody else was trying to be friends with these people. And I wasn't diagnosed with autism when I was in, school. I was diagnosed as an adult. In fact, I was recently diagnosed, but maybe 4 years ago. So not very long ago. And I can only imagine the way people would have treated me had they known I was on the spectrum back then. But I can't say that I can ever remember a time where I made fun of people that had disabilities. I probably did. I don't want to sound like I'm a hypocrite. I probably did. But I changed that about myself. And I can say that there was a lot of times where I was somebody that tried to befriend people. I didn't care if they were deaf. I didn't care if they had Down syndrome. I didn't care if they were autistic. I didn't care if they had some type of other intellectual disability or developmental disability. I didn't care, you know. And I'll never forget this. I can literally remember this from high school. I went to Washington High in Pensacola, and the way our high school was we had this huge, atrium, and there's like 3 different benches, and one of the benches led down the hallway to where like all the special needs kids were. And I can remember I was sitting on that bench, and I had somebody, I don't even remember if it was a friend of mine, it might have just been a random person, but they literally came up to me, grabbed me by my arm, and pulled me away saying, "Why are you sitting with the bump kids? You're not bump." Like I said, I didn't care. I will never forget just sitting next to them, and people just smiling and talking to me, and it's almost ironic that later on I got diagnosed with autism, and the very group of people that I was always friends with is the very group of people that I'm actually a part of. It's kind of ironic how life ends up being that way. But anyway, this is an amazing anime, and I watched it, like I said, so many different times. I really truly think you guys are going to enjoy it. I give it a 10 out of 10, and I cannot wait to check out the manga, see what may have been added or taken out of the movie. But check it out, you guys. I really think you're going to find it very, very relatable, especially some of the exact same things that happened to you in school, where you befriended certain people and people turn against you, Or maybe you, I don't know, maybe you fell in love with somebody that had a disability and people looked at you the wrong way. And maybe you lost friends because of it. I wish the world wasn't that cruel, but unfortunately, that's just the way things are, you know, and one day hopefully things will change. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, you guys, this was a great anime movie, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Check it out. Like I said, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. And I will catch you guys later with some more reviews. Have a nice day, and I'll see you guys later.